Hello, good afternoon. It's afternoon. Are we streaming? Is that happening? Yeah, I think we are. I seem to be experiencing streamness. That's the ringtone, sorry, double checking. Yep, I can hear stream, I can hear myself. Lovely! Alright, we're back with Kerbal Space Program, and we're not going to have as much music this time. I'm trying not to play copyrighted music on my streams and stuff for the sake of form. There's ways to get it, but I haven't figured them out. This is my music, but I've only made 2 songs, so we're going to listen to them at the beginning, and then we're going to carry on. I will pause this, though, because I can't think straight. Yeah! Kerbal Space Program 1.31, Career Mode, Science Mode, Episode 4, for real this time. There may have been a previous attempt at an Episode 4, but we won't talk about that. But anyway, I still got to get my stream stuff set up. It's a Saturday afternoon, which is a weird time for me to stream, but I'm giving it a shot. That looks like mine. That's correct. And I need to turn the thermal management system up. Hang on. It's hot in here. It's Georgia. It's hot. You have to listen to the air conditioning. Okay. All right. So, we're 2 minutes in, and I want to talk about what we're doing today. Today is Interplanetary Launch Day. And to help us with Interplanetary Launch Day, I have installed a new mod since last week called Transfer Window Planner. Transfer Window Planner, the amazing Transfer Window Planner. It plans transfer windows, and it gives me pork chop plots. This is the date of departure. Pardon me. This is the date of departure graphed against the time of travel, the travel time in the transfer, with delta V as a color scale. And I guess it looks like a pork chop. But anyway, in addition to its wonderful ability to help us know when the right time to go to planets is, because I never go to the planets. I just go to the moon and Memnus, and in this case, I'll be able to go to Dres because it's one of the moons of Kerbin. But then I just go back and forth, and I build space stations, and I try to build space planes. And then eventually, like, life happens, and I'm playing a different game, and something stops. I want to go to these crazy new places. So we're going to Moho. And, but we're going to Moho sooner than this. See, this plot is telling us that there's an ideal departure date, year 1, day 72. We're currently on year 1, day 23. So we'll get another window soon. But if I tell it that I want to leave by day 50, and I plot that, it needs to be even sooner. Day 40. Plot that. There we go. See, it tells us we need to leave right now. And that's fine, because we can leave right now because I've pre-built the spacecraft. So last time, we sent probes to the moon and to Dres, and we put a window planner probe up in orbit, which I've been using sometimes, but the transfer window planner helps also. Anyway, I'm going to press this button now to hit show ejection angles, which, look at that really cool little tool that pops up. You couldn't really see it. Turn it off, turn it on. This is giving me this little graph of like where in my orbit I need to be. And the reason I'm looking at this here in the tracking station is that I think I've determined through much trial and error and reloading and trying and failing that with my inclined launch site, where it is up here at 23 degrees, things are just wonky with the transfers. And it's more manageable if the plane of the inclination crosses the flat of the plane of the ecliptic, where the rings are, at the orbit line. So we want to look at it this way and then make a diagonal right through that line. And so that means I want my launch site to be 90 degrees from this horizontal line here. This is telling us where we're going to do our burn. That's all well and good. Hopefully we'll be able to use that. But what I want to do is zoom in a bit. There's my launch site. And I'm just going to time accelerate. Our pad is ready. Our science is unlocked. It's now time to see if we can dance. No, that's what Q says. All right, I'm waiting until I think the Space Center is right above or maybe slightly before. Okay, that's probably a little too late, but let's just go ahead. And we're going to Moho first. Maybe it'd be better to go to Eve first. Maybe it'd be better to go to Gilly first. These are all the planets. But the goal is just to go. All right, so we're in the Space Center. And I'm trying to go quick because I actually want to do all of these things today. I want to launch like 4 interplanetary missions. So I have pre-built a Moho mission called Handwave. It is a major upgrade to the sine wave probes. And by that I mean it has a probidobidine hex core rather than an octo core at the heart of an instrumentation package inside this nice fairing. Complete with radiator panels that are completely unnecessary and could probably save us a lot of delta V by not having them. But they look cool. We're going down to Moho, which is like Mercury, so it's hot down there, it's sunny. It doesn't make sense to have radiators, it's stupid, but I wanted to have them. This craft is 36 tons, which means as per our rules, I have to set a pad timer of 4 days. 4 days. 36 divided by 10, 3.5, rounded up is 4. So we got a pad. Next launch is in 4 days. Wish me luck. Save. Launch. Now we'll have my music. It's going to be a little bit laggy here because there's like 6 different things loading at the moment. In fact, I can't even get back to the game at the moment. I can see it in OBS, but I can't see the games. Give us a second. We'll just jam out to my music. This song is called Going Live or Parade of Happy Geese. Come on, Alt-tab me back to my game, please. There we are. All right, it's good launching music. We're going to be trying to get into the ecliptic. 5, 6, here we go. All right, and already very quickly we need to start pitching because this thing, that was not a swear word. We need to start pitching very quickly because this thing has a lot of power off the pad. This is the Phileas rocket launching the Handwave space probe to Moho on our first interplanetary launch that isn't hopefully isn't going to be reloaded. Keep going, keep pitching, keep pitching. Okay, we dropped off the boosters. Lovely. I'm going to point toward the prograde marker, and I'm going to select Minmus as the target in an attempt to... Oh shit, where's transfer window planner? Moho, no insertion burn, plot. 40 days, plot. Show it, ejection angles. Okay. Keep going, keep pitching. I had to look away for like a good solid period of time. I need to go more east. I'm trying to get my ascending and descending nodes to line up exactly with the prograde retrograde markers on the orbit. I made this song on LMMS, which is a open source audio editing thing. I don't know anything about how to use it that I didn't watch in a YouTube tutorial, or really about composition. Okay, that's closer. That's quite close. We're about to burn out the stage, and we're just getting into orbit. This is perfect. F5. Well, not orbit, into an apoapse that I'm comfortable with. Let's point surface prograde, please. And reduce drag by decoupling. Throttle down and power up the engine for no reason other than usability. Sorry, I'm gonna hum it because I spent so long putting it together. Oh, okay, this isn't the most efficient launch I've ever done, but I think it might work. It might work. It might work. Pull this down. He's fiddling with the music. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit more. Apo. Okay. Burn is already started, and I want to burn on the horizon, please. And I need to fly from map mode. This maneuver is likely to be unusable. I just wanted to know when it was time to start the burn. We want to... I don't think this song has a name. We're going to burn a little bit north to be able to move the descending node. I want to... Oh wait, is that having the effect I want? Hang on. I have to think about this. We're at the top of the orbit. We want to process our descending node away from us. We might have to burn south. I actually don't know. My brain is not parsing this information. It doesn't seem to be working to be burning south. I would think we would want to burn a little bit north. We don't want to be too wasteful in our delta V. I'm having trouble making this process at all. It's very hard to make a change like this. And our apoapsis is approaching. We're looking at our surface marker. That's no good. Let's just be aligned. This will have to be close enough. I'm going to turn this off because this is just confusing me. Oh, shoot! Okay. It was because of the maneuver node. I was actually processing my descending node all over the place. That's heavily inefficient. But it's going to be okay. Just cosine losses. Alright, we sort of messed up. Well, I have that quick save. I'm going to leave that quick save where it is to maybe fix the launch if need be. What's our periaps? It's still only 80. So let me burn south as I accelerate a little bit. Alright, it's just going to be what it's going to be. We're wasting delta V. Alright, end of the song, and we see what the bad news is. Top view. Out of maneuver. Now, I've learned that the plan is to pull on this maneuver until my departure is not inclined. There we go. It's 0.01 degrees north. Whew. And that's it for music. Let's set Moho as target. And now, unfortunately, we have to just listen to we just have to watch me go back and forth. So we burn less. More. Okay, we're getting close here. See, this is this encounter over here. We've got to be more precise. I'm just gonna click on things and try to get some progress. Just got to fine tune it. It's difficult coming from the weird orbit. Oh my goodness. There it is. Keep coming. Keep coming. Burn. I don't know what burning normal is going to do for us. Let me try just pulling on this a little. Okay, okay, it's getting closer. The amino acids are getting closer and closer. Come on, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. So close. A little bit further. My monitoring software just went away, and I saw it. There it was. There it is. There's an encounter. Holy bejesus. Now the problem is we're going to burn, and we're going to miss it. Like, our burn is not going to be precise enough. 2539. Well, we have to do our best. Let's deploy. There's the spacecraft. Deploy the antennas. Get oriented. It's really hot all of a sudden. Add a maneuver. There. Are we getting sunlight? We are. Wish me luck. It's not going to be perfect. Oh, my bitrate is horrible. Whoa, hang on. Okay. Seems to be better. Okay. I don't know what might have happened with the stream, so we'll see what happens with the recording. I had a really poor quality on the stream a second ago, so we'll see. Delete on close. If we fail entirely, like, I can refly from that launch, but I'd rather not. So I'm going to time accelerate till we're 30 seconds out. I'll do 20 seconds, but we're going to need to start burning early, because this engine is way more thrust than the engine we're about to use. Okay, so we were early. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's too sensitive to exactly get it right. Oh. So we're burning as we go up. We're going to go up and over. I'm definitely going to be using KSC Switcher to add an equatorial launch site to help deal with these interplanetary launches, because this is just very difficult. But I like the idea of having to work up to that. For some reason, I don't know why. Time accelerating. We are now escaping. So this is also going to be the first vessel to leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. Which means taking a milestone dice off. It's this system I've been using. Blue dice, though, because there's no Kerbals. I have 4 blue dice. This is the 4th consecutive mission with no Kerbals on it. Although it has made the milestone of being the first interplanetary launch. Whoop, careful. Stay on target. All right. We'll do our best. It's not going to be perfect by any means. I had gotten all set. I like to pre-build before the streams, pre-build some missions. I was enjoying that because I want to go all the places. Like, I've got a giant bucket list for Kerbal Space Program. I've got a giant bucket list for Kerbal Space Program, and we can't tell if we're we can't tell if we're having an intersect or not. But I'm willing to bet that that's okay. So I'm gonna accept this launch because we've got 200 meters per second left. Add a maneuver. Can we get a more sure thing? Hang on, delete. Add a maneuver down here. Focus on Moho. What's happening with Moho? So, delete. Something is very sensitive. Add maneuver out here. We can get a better intercept. According to this, we can get very close, and I'll fine-tune it from there for not very much. So I think we're okay. Let's add a maneuver, Let's add an alarm for that maneuver. Let's also add an alarm for the sphere of influence change. What was I saying? I was saying a bunch of things at once. I was pre-building, and I had it all prepped to do all these interplanetary launches. But, I'm blurry, aren't I? But, I just really didn't respect how complicated it was going to be. We just left low Kerbal orbit to do a launch from an inclined launch site into interplanetary space. So, mission accomplished. We're up. Well, not mission. Mission is not accomplished yet, but launch accomplished. Look how much fuel we have left. That is scary. I'm gonna put my thrust limiter way down because we're now only doing very tiny course corrections, and we're not doing any attempt to orbit Moho. This is entirely a flyby. Part of why it is called hand wave. Okay. So I've lost track of what I was saying, but that's that. We got 3 days till the pad's ready, 1 day till we leave Kerbal sphere of influence, and then in 36 days we can do a course correction. That's fine. And hopefully we'll be able to get it. We'll do our best. Bom 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 bom. Yep. And we're going out way faster. We still have a probe on the way to Dres, but because that's going to like go to Dres, it's going much more slowly. Whereas we're just blasting out of the solar system, or out of the Kerbal sphere of influence. All right, Kerbin's Eve transfer point is here, and the Gilly transfer point is here, but unfortunately our launch pad is not ready. Another reason why I'm going to have a second space center soon, so we can do twice as many launches. And eventually we'll build some space planes, and that'll also help. But currently we don't really have the tech to be building space planes that aren't just also rockets. Whoa. This is going to be the first spacecraft to leave Kerbal sphere of influence, as I keep saying. What that means is that we can get new science. There we go. In space, high over the sun. We're not going to do the mystery goo or the materials bay, but we can do temperature and pressure. And they don't say anything other than that it's hard to measure temperature in space, and pressure reads 0. But at least we learned something. So, I'm going to focus on Kerbin, and I'm going to stay with, well, let's switch to the windowsill. Let's switch to windowsill. So, saved, and, no, saved, and, no, we can't switch to the windowsill, because the windowsill takes forever to warp, because it's only at 100 kilometers. Let's just go to the tracking station. Tracking station. All right. Now the transfer window planner. Our next interplanetary mission is to Eve. We're also trying to do this within the next few days. Plot it. So here's our lovely Eve pork chop plot. But now we can't actually start it until the pad is ready in 2 days. So today's the day 24. We can't do it until day 26. Okay. So let's time warp until we're there. Whee! Spin, spin, spin. I should have gone to the Space Center. We'll do that for the next one. It's really pretty to watch the sky turn overhead. Okay, the pad is ready. So now let's bring out the wonderful transfer window planner mod and then plot it. Is it day 26 today? Today is actually day 27. So 27. Do we still want to go now, or do we want to go later? Now we could actually get a sooner arrival time leaving in this window down here because it's lower in the graph, but this one is slightly less delta V. And this is when we're ready. So please show me the ejection angle, mostly just so that I can more easily see the prograde retrograde vector. Because I was using the sun, I was looking at Kerbin and I was saying we should launch at noon, but that's not, like, Kerbin's orbit isn't circular, so we're not quite 90 degrees to the sun. So I actually need to wait until the space center is on the dark side of the planet this time. So what's happening? Do we have an alarm? Oh, we're having an Eve. Okay, close. We know it's time for Eve. Okay, in 1 hour, the sine wave 2 has a sphere of influence change. That is an interesting interaction. Let's see what we can do. Okay, we have to actually switch over to sine wave 2, which is on its way out to Dres. So this is going to be a little bit of interesting juggling. Close. Sine wave 2 is about to enter Dres' sphere of influence. So let's fly that. Fly! Fly! I would like to turn up ambient light just a little bit. Not that much. And I'd like to put on the music. Can we have music? Maybe that much. Very quiet. Resume. So this is sine wave 2. Remember this from only last week? I barely remember it, guys. It's really hard for me to keep track of what's happening. So let's go ahead. We're about to cross the sphere of influence of Dres. Where is Dres? Oh, there it is. It's a momentous occasion. Dres. Bum ba ba ba. Wow. In space high over Dres' dark lands. Wow. Well, space high calls for science. We're going to do a material study, a mystery goo, an atmosphere, and a temperature. This is another milestone. I didn't even take out the dice, but look at that. Once again, the thermometer does nothing. I need to get the, like, crowdsourced science pack. Let's go ahead and send that back. I don't want to run out of communication. Incidentally, how is our comms? Our comms seem fine. All right. Objects are still floating around and making a mess, though some of them have grouped together and occasionally you see a spark between them. That's going to be interesting. We're going to send that home as well and get 10 more science from the materials study. Yep, we're going to go ahead and burn that, transmit. And the instrument reads 0 as if it were in a vacuum, as usual. And we need to time accelerate a little bit to get some electric charge. I think the goo seems to look for a way to escape. Let's transmit that, because we have 2 mystery goos. Don't run out of electric charge. Okay, that wasn't bad. Okay, now we need to create... Whoa. It got very quiet, very loud all of a sudden. Let's add a maneuver, and let's focus on Kerbin. Why would we focus on Kerbin? Okay. Why did the music suddenly get, like, way louder? That was weird. Okay. Periapse. We want to pull this thing down. Right now our periapse is 28 kilometers. We want our apoapse to be like 150. 150. I don't really remember what the ideal situation for ScanSet is, so let's just make it 150, and I think we're going to be just fine. The burn time is going to be 1 minute and 55 seconds. Is that correct, or is this sensitive? Oh yeah, let's turn that up and make it 22 seconds. I think that's better. So, I changed my mind. I'm not listening to music. So we're going to add an alarm. So many alarms. So much is going on at once. All right, sine wave 2 is going to be there in a day. All right, remember that. And now go back to the tracking station, because this is our Eve window. We got to launch Eve. It's Kerbal probe juggling. Not pro juggling per se, but probe juggling. Year 1, day 40 plot. No, not Elu, Eve plot. No, year 1, day 40 plot. It can get a little temperamental. Show ejection angle. All right. All right, we want the space center. Look at all the comnet. Look at all the communications, because we've got the moon, sine wave 2 on the way to Dres, and now we got this interplanetary vehicle. Can I turn those off temporarily? Yeah. All right. So what this is showing me is that this is the way Kerbin is going, and this is where, in a circular orbit around Kerbin, I want to do my burn, heading this way, where this arrow is. And it says 121 degrees to retrograde. That's this angle. Retrograde is this way. So I just want that to also result in a zero inclination orbit around the sun, relatively. So let's zoom in so that we can see the space center. But I've also put a flag there, so let's use that. And now we've learned not to make a maneuver node during launch, because then I won't be able to manipulate the descending node. I was confused why I wasn't manipulating the descending node, but it's because I was looking at the maneuver planned descending node, not the one that I was actually creating with my burn. I'm excited for this launch. This is the most complicated vessel I've launched in the save so far. Let's do there. Leave. Let's listen to the crickets. There's the crickets. Real quick. Save game as quick save 9. Yes, please. Let's go into the vehicle assembly building, where I'll show you what we've built, but I'm just going to go ahead and launch it. All right, here it is. I can't help with my silly puns, guys. We're going to Eve. This is the early evening mission. Launching on a rocket that I like to call the Phileas Super Heavy. It has 3 Wildcat engines and 2 Maverick 1Ds, 4 liquid fuel boosters around the core, an upper stage to get it into orbit, and then the spacecraft itself has this giant rocket, an orbiter, and a lander. And that's the plan, but our delta V margins are not very big, so I need my launch to go just right. And it weighs... This thing masses 75 tons. So after this launch, we have to wait for 8 days. So, that's what we're going to do. Add pad 8 days and add alarm. Now, I really hope that this thing goes off well and has enough delta V. That's my hope. Save. Close this. Drum roll. And launch. And probably wait for some lag. I need to grab some water. If I'm seeming super intense today, it's because everything I'm doing in this particular streaming day is way more complicated than what I've been doing in previous Kerbal stuff. So, look, there's the moon. Hooray! Alright, let's start off by setting Minmus as the target, and then by not being terrified at the last second, we're going to Eve. And we're going by, I gotta keep doing this every time, plot. We're going right now. Show the ejection angle so I can see what I'm doing. And we're a little behind already, so let us T, Z. And just because I've got to do this, because this thing looks so awesome, even though the camera, the Twitch is probably lagging really bad. Okay, there we go. 2, 1, 0. Alright, now let me get my camera back. Alright, now very quickly, we need to start pitching right away. And hopefully this isn't lagging too bad, but you know, I can't really see what the stream is seeing until later. Thank you for indulging me in my fun times with the camera angles. Oh, the sound of these KW engines is just fantastic. Do you hear the sound? My goodness. I kind of can't worry about my inclination until after we've done the staging situation. We have 4 different boosters, but 2 of them are using higher thrust Maverick 1D engines. 2 of them are using lower thrust, higher efficiency, whatever the name of the other ones is, Wildcats. And I'm going to quick save because I've just had so many things go wrong lately with this. Look at that beautiful purple. It's not very realistic. I don't have real plume in this. Ready? There they go. Alright, first set of boosters is away, and they've crashed into each other. That's fine. Now we want to start pitching down. We've got a few seconds. And I want to burn south, I think. South and down. But we're actually going up to an altitude that I'm gonna need to use. I would much have preferred to have dropped these in the ascent, but unfortunately we're just going to have to use them in space. It's not gonna look right for my brain, but I do this thing because I'm amusing myself right here, because it's basically DM brain. I played Kerbal Space Program as a dungeon master rather than as like a player trying to like beat the game, right? I really am more thinking about how I want it to go rather than what are my challenges. We want to burn a little bit north to get it right. And because of that, I tend to do actually rather suboptimal things without really meaning to. And I worry about stuff, about the aesthetics. Like, you shouldn't be up in space, like we're in space now, and still be on all 3 of your rocket boosters. Oh wow, but listen to that sound. Look at that view. Oh, that's a beautiful screenshot. Okay, well that made it all worth it. All right, there we go. Whew. That was pretty. All right. Now let's get into space now. No sense burning below the line here. Now I need to turn that off so I can see what I'm doing. If I burn a little north, can I move this? Yep, it's very sensitive actually. The ascending node, descending jumps around all over the place. with just a little bit. Quick, get on the orbit prograde. And then burn back. Yeah, there you go. That's close enough. That's close enough. Now just stay on orbit prograde for a little while. We're going into a higher orbit than I meant to. Orbit prograde, please, and go down a bit. Yeah, just burn on the horizon. We don't need to go into such a high orbit. In fact, okay. We're fine. Orbit prograde. Stage. Vesta. Okay, now is when we are glad that we had all this time to get into orbit, because now we might, you know, have some difficulty. But so far we're doing okay. Like, if I move around, can you see me moving around? Stream seems just way more behind than usual. All right. We want to be burning straight up. We don't want to be burning north or south. We want to be pulling our apoaps down behind us. We're starting to fall back in, see? But, all right, our periaps is out of the atmosphere. Good enough. Whew. I don't know if we're gonna do this the way we want, but let's just give it our best try. I'm gonna add a maneuver, and it thinks that our ejection delta V is 1660. Unfortunately, that's not correct because our orbit is not 100, so this is... And also, hopefully it can be less, because I didn't quite build with enough margins to do that. Set Eve as target. Now, I want to do the age-old trick of taking the planet and sticking it in the way of the sun, and then pulling on it until it is 0 degrees. I have an injection inclination thing right there. Stop clicking on things. Okay, that's close enough. We're gonna mess it up in a second anyway. Now, can I burn less, please? Would it be possible for me to get an encounter with Eve with less? That's good. That's a good start. Let's focus on the sun. And now again, we just have to do this. No, we want to go later and burn more. And go later and burn more. Go later. No, it's getting worse, isn't it? We want to go earlier. No. I don't know. I don't know how to get it right. We don't need to be going... I want to try to get the transfer like less than 1600 meters per second. I don't have the margins to be, you know, messing with it too much. No, I just got to fiddle with it. It's just, this is what it's going to be. Why does it disappear at that point? That's interesting. We want to take a little bit longer, actually, to get there. So we shouldn't be burning more. We should be burning less because we want to have a higher orbit. Now I just need to fix our inclination. No. Fix our inclination the other way. Maybe. I don't want to burn too much. No, stay awake. Stay awake, monitoring computer. Felt really bad. I had somebody come say hi yesterday, and I missed it because I was concentrating so hard and because my music thing was not pointing things out to me. Come on. Okay, come back until we see an encounter. No. All right. What am I looking at here? We got to start over. This is 0. This is 0. And go away, Kerbal Engineer. This is 1500. Now I move the time until my inclination leaving is about 0. Good enough. Now we look to see if I'm having an Eve encounter. And I can see an Eve encounter. Now, but if I touch it at all, it goes away. It was better before. This is 0. This is 1500. That's 1150. Hang on. All right. 0 radial. And what is my inclination? 2. My inclination relative to Eve is 2 degrees. So what's happening is Eve's going to go around in the rotation, and it will be here when I am here. So I actually want to go less. I need to burn less because this is causing me to get there too quickly, and so I want to actually slow down less. So I'm going to burn a bit less. There we go. And then I'm going to burn at a different time so that my inclination is not so extreme. 0.4 degrees south. 0.0, okay? Unfortunately, this didn't result in anything happening, so let me just pull on this back and forth for a minute to see if I can see another encounter show up. It's that same one. Weird, okay. Now if I burn radially, as well as different times and different forward and back. This is just what it's going to be, I'm sorry. Well, here's a question. Okay, there's our encounter. That's 1500 meters per second. If we were to add a maneuver at apoapse later that changed our orbit. Why can't we find... There we go. This maneuver is going to be too big. I can tell you right now, this maneuver is going to be too big and dramatic. Yeah, let's definitely delete that second one. And just stick with the first one. My goodness. We did really good with our launches. You know what? Let's make sure that this thing doesn't die. Because I don't have any solar panels. Deploy this thing. All right, there's the fairing base. We deployed the fairing, so that's good at least. And now you can at least see this cool spacecraft in here. Let's aim the camera. The early evening mission. The nice big relay dish that we need in order for the lander to talk to Kerbin through the orbiter. The mapping thing. Mystery goo to offset the mass of this giant antenna. And a lander that hopefully is going to go into Eve's atmosphere and, yeah, perform science. Now, have I passed my maneuver? I am about to pass my maneuver, so let me move it to the... Let me just delete this. We're not getting anywhere with it anyway. And let's time accelerate until our ship is not, like, in the way of figuring out where our maneuver is going to be. Okay. Incidentally, I think this is where our launch site is going to be next. We have one here, and there'll be one across the sea this way. It'll be fun. That's where it originally was before I messed with it. Okay. Add a maneuver. 1,500 meters per second. And then we just pull on this until it is not significantly inclined. 0.07 degrees south. Lovely. Okay, that's where I can see it, but I don't care that I can see it. That's not the right place. So pull it out, and then move this until we see another encounter. I don't know why we're not getting to see. Maybe settings. Isn't there a setting for, like, always? Always show closest approach or something? I feel like that's going to make everything even more complicated. Close. Okay, so now in this version, it's here and I'm here. So I would say that we actually need to burn one of these radial directions. No? Yeah. Radial backwards. Not so much. Okay, we can see where the closest approach is. Why are we so far ahead? Okay, so what we need to do, focus on vessel. What we need to do is not be heading down. Ah, I see what's happening. We need to, you know, I only tested this. I'm not quite sure, but we need to be heading back a little bit more. And then, okay, let's see how that was. That's just a guess. I can't even explain what I just did. I just said I think that this would be better. And I think I need to pull on the thing here. Uh-huh. Nope, wrong one. Pull on this one. Push on this one. Pull on this one. Nope. It's just making a very expensive maneuver, but it's not like solving our problem. Okay, this one has a total delta V of 1500, and then if I have to do a correction burn out here, which I really don't want to do, I don't understand, y'all. I don't understand what's happening. Also, I don't understand why my orbit line just got so weird. This is what has been happening. Is my ascending and descending nodes are where I want them to be. I'm gonna add a maneuver here. 15. Well, what did transfer window think? It was more. 1660. All right, I'll try it. 1660. And then I'll move this around. Now, of course, we need to be targeting Eve. Eve. Set as target. Okay, I saw something. Okay, that's where I see an encounter. So let me pull here, push, pull here, 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 pull here. This is like horrible. And now let me try to, well, no, this is still correct. Burn less retrograde, burn more radial, burn less retrograde, burn more radial. And now I need to pull, I need to push the time later, maybe? No. Where the heck is it? Okay. If I move my inclination around, can I see what I'm doing? Yes. I might have to take this, whatever it is, even if it's bad. Getting closer. Why was this so hard? I have no idea. I'm sure we could have done better. This is eating up a lot of our margin. But that is an encounter for Eve with a total of 1538. We must do this maneuver. I feel weird with no music. I'm gonna put some music on. I have something which may or may not be tonally correct, but we're gonna play it. That's too loud. This is music by Broke for Free. There we go. Okay, we're pointed the right way. Let's add, unfortunately, we're going to have a weird, we're not going to actually even be able to do the burn correctly, so we'll do our best. We still have a lot of fuel on that launch stage. I built the rocket to be able to actually to relight the main orbit insertion engine for the maneuver to Eve, and then go onto the spacecraft itself. So we're going to be able to do the first third of this maneuver on the regular engine. But then we're going to go down in thrust. So I want to start maybe like 10 seconds early, 15 seconds early. Let's do 13. Aim camera, reset camera. All right. Look at this burn. We're burning at such a weird angle. My goodness. All right. Good luck early evening. We're counting on you. Switched onto the LV909. They changed the model in more modern versions of Kerbal Space Program, which it looks better objectively, but I really love how this works, how it looks, and this is why I play an old version of Kerbal Space Program, because I get so nostalgic. Okay, performing this very weird and very, inefficient. My phone dying? What's happening? Did the stream stop? What's happening? Oh. Hang on, let me get out of time acceleration while all hell is breaking loose. Okay. Who knows what happened there? Can I just have the camera be in orbital so that we're not getting dizzy in the middle of everything else going on? My phone just, flashed at me and then, went away. Okay. 27 seconds left. I'm going to rotate. So that it behaves how I expect it to. And so that the solar panels are oriented towards the sun. Woo! Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it gets wrong at the end. Can we burn a little more? Is it going to get closer? Nope. While we're here, let's see if we can fix this. This is reducing our closest approach. Might have overburned. $200,000 kilometers, 100, 150. All right, it's decreasing how effective it is, so I'm just going to add a maneuver right here, and I'm going to pull on it, so that seems to not be correct. Delete. 0. And we'll just do an inclination shift. All right, 64 more meters per second. Okay. We may or may not be able to, like, get into orbit, but we'll do our best. So, instead of doing that, I'm just going to just turn down now and see if that can fix it. Stop readjusting. How soon is this burn? 2 minutes? Alright, let's just wait on that. 20 seconds. More music by Vogue for free, I believe. Yep. Okay, we have an encounter. Quick save. My goodness, little evening probe, you've had quite an experience. That was like I think you're taking the prize of being the most difficult launch experience I have had. And I don't have a lot of experience, honestly, doing interplanetary launches in Kerbal Space Program. Why is it just floating all over the place? Stop moving. All right. Add an alarm for the sphere of influence change. All right. Yay! As they say, Godspeed, early evening probe. Our thoughts are with you as you drift off into space. Hopefully, to meet Eve. We're going to switch to sine wave 2 as we pass the hour and 7-minute mark. I was going to do a ghillie launch and I decided I'm not skilled enough. Compounded grounds. I love it. All right. We're going to warp up to Drez's maneuver. Faster. There we go. Here comes Drez. Whoop, where'd it go? Here comes Drez. Whee! Whoa, it's all cracked on the surface. Look at that. I know it's loading in, but look at that. That's so cool. And delete that. Close. Look how lumpy it is. Look at those giant craters. I cannot wait to land on this thing. Well, now that we've got through the difficult parts, I can kind of get back to, like... Yeah, I'm back. I feel like the next time I play it's going to be a lot less rough. All right, Z. And so you can tell that this sine wave probe is older technology. It does not have the maneuver hold buttons that the hex core upgrades hand wave probe supports. Oh. All right. Look, there's Kerbin in the background. And here is Drez. Wow. All right. Give me my science. We're going to do our other materials study, our other mystery goo, and again, we're going to do this. Let's send temperature. Micrometeor or something hit the samples. All right, that's fine. Send that off. 11 science. Mm-hmm. Send off the pressure scan. We can close that. I said we can close that. Thank you. Mystery goo. Oh wait, no. Cancel. Something didn't fit. I don't know if we lost anything. I don't think we lost anything. Let me review, send. Yeah, transmit that. Done? Lovely. All right, can we do any more science? No, we've actually done those already. Where's my temperature? Give me my thermometer. Who knows where the thermometer is? Oh, there it is. Review data and throw that away. That's fine. All right, Drez. it's time to begin to the lovely music of Simple Hop. Broke for free. We're gonna go deploy the scanning device. Woohoo! Look at that. Look at that thing. All right. I really enjoy these spacecraft. I'm gonna aim the camera here though, because I feel like I can't see it. I really enjoy the way I got this thing looking. I like it. I'm happy with it. Turn and go like that. Now, are we getting... We are running out of electric charge because we're not pointing at the sun. So we should be earning it back. Yeah, it's coming back up. This thing doesn't seem to cost any electric charge. So, in any case, how is our scanning situation? We seem to be fine. This is a low resolution radar altimetry scan. The new versions of ScanSat are a lot more difficult, I have found. There's a lot more complexity, I'll say. Good. We seem to have been just fine. Oh, this is wonderful. We're getting our low resolution altimetry scan of Dres. Amazing. And we're not running out of electric charge, which is fantastic. So what is next on the docket? The early evening mission is going to go into interplanetary space. Let's go find that then, huh? Here it is, flying off. Switch to that. And it's an hour and 15 minutes. Can we launch and deal with an Eve flyby in this time? I don't know. Look at all these things. We can turn all these things off. Go away. Where's Kerbin? Kerbin out there somewhere? Bye, Kerbin. Just gonna warp out to where we switch. This is kind of a tradition. I don't know that we need to do this, but I always went slow through the sphere of influence change because you can get weird behavior, and we saw this in episode 2 of this series. That episode 2, the second day that I streamed this, we had that experience that when we crossed the sphere of influence, something very weird happened around Minmus. So, okay, so what's going on here? The blue line is the orbit we're on now. The purple line, appropriately enough, is the orbit after we intersect with Eve. So let's focus on, let's focus on Eve. Hang on. I'm going to build a maneuver here, and I'm going to focus on Eve, and then zoom in, see what's going on. So, if we burn radial, what happens? Not what we want. If we burn prograde. Okay, we're going to want to burn retrograde. And if we do it earlier, what happens? I'm not sure. Where's my maneuver? Here it is. If I move this forward and backward, does it get more or less effective? It seems to get less effective the earlier I do it. Come on. There's the most effective point, it seems. Whoa. Let's do less. Let's do less, please. Okay. Now, for a maneuver of how much delta V does this thing have left, right? It's 27. Now, we want to actually get into orbit with this thing, so this is where we find out whether that's going to be possible. So we need to go in a polar orbit is the other thing. Can we burn normal and get... Aha, there we go. So this crashes into Eve. Look how scary Eve looks. I can't wait to get Eve clouds. Okay, and more fine-tuned. All right, there's that. Now, can I get information about Eve? Eve. Atmosphere present, yes. Atmosphere height 95. So we can go down to 100-kilometer altitude for the most efficient Eve periaps 80 is too low. A 100, there it is. That's 95. 101 kilometers would be there. That's very, very close. This is mostly a polar orbit. It's not completely perfect. That looks a little better to me. And 104 is a little bit safer. Oh, am I quick saving? That doesn't make any sense. So the whole burn will be 52 meters per second. So the real question is, I will then have 2,300 meters per second of delta V left. So I'm just going to add a maneuver here. And I'm going to try to get into orbit of Eve in the future. The total is less. We'll be able to capture and not leave into interplanetary space. That is excellent. And it looks like, look at these margins. 23 can put us in an orbit like this, but not better. We'll probably be safe. We'll probably play it safe. I don't need the second maneuver. This one can go away. Okay, so this is the one I really like. We'll be able to do this mission if nothing goes wrong. So we've created this maneuver. It is going to happen in a long time. That's the maneuver. That's the maneuver I will not do in a long time. A long time. 101 days. 101 days to this maneuver. In the meantime, let's make sure that the spacecraft, let's point it up. Make sure that the spacecraft is, oh, you can see Kerbin in the background, pointed north relative to the sun and is getting power. And I think we're going to be okay. Electric charge all the way up. Woo. All right, what's next on the docket? The pad is going to be done in 5 days. So let's go to the Space Center. And we're an hour and 20 minutes in. Another mission to Eve is just nuts, right? I have another Eve in 10 days. Now, I wonder what that is. Show me transfer window planner. Please show me what's going on with going to Eve as a flyby, starting after day 31. No, not day 31. It's 29, so this will have to be day 34. Between now and day 60. In the next month. So day 34 will be a good time to do an Eve launch as well, which is excellent. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. But we're going to sit here to do sunrise, sunset, because that's a fun game. I want to do a name save game, save, and I'm just going to keep blasting through fast as we can go. Sunrise, sunset. Look at the stars going overhead. Woo! You can see them wrapping around the sky up to the north. The North Star is just above my science number up here. And you'll notice we got some science. We could unlock something, but my launches are all planned out. I don't need to construct any new craft. Going to the tracking station. Pad's about to unlock. We're going to once again attempt to get launching in a sensible way. Close that alarm. The pad is ready. So with the pad ready, once again, Eve, between now and day 60, no insertion, burn. Careful, don't fly the early evening mission. I just want to look at Kerbin. I clicked through. There's a mod called Click Through Blocker, but show me that ejection angle. And where's the Space Center? We might need to wait a number of hours. So unfortunately we can't do a nighttime launch. I like nighttime launches. what's going off, what's happening in the timer. Apparently there's an ELU window, but ELU is like Pluto. We don't have a transmitter that can talk to ELU. So, waiting. How long have I been playing this game that I only recently just noticed that with Kerbin having a 6-hour day, that's 360 minutes, which means that every minute Kerbin rotates 60 degrees. No, sorry, at 1 degree for every minute Kerbin rotates. So in like an hour, Kerbin rotates 60 degrees. It's just very easy to figure out where it's going to rotate to because they made the rotation short. So what we're doing here, the evening mission did not have materials bays for mass purposes. We were trying to launch it on the Phileas rocket and keep the mass down. So we're going to launch a mission that is a duplicate of the one we sent to Moho, and we're launching it to Eve. Am I like? Is my mic live? I have this fear that my. No, there. Yeah, all right. I don't know why I just had that random fear. It's 36 tons. Add. As tedious as this is, actually using Kerbal construction time is even more so. It's a great mod, but yeah. All right, this is Handwave 2. We're going to just launch an identical rocket to the one we had launched, and we're going to launch this one to Eve. And hopefully, we won't have to sit here for 15 minutes while I get the encounter. If it's really causing trouble, I'll just say, guys, just believe me that I went to Eve, and I'll just turn off the stream and I'll finish doing it. Nothing to wait for. Z, T, go! All right, another Phileas rocket launch. We're going to outgrow Phileas soon, but for now, the little rocket that can still can. It's got a lot of thrust off the pad. That's part of what is so successful about this rocket, but of course, that isn't the only, measure of whether something is working well. I'm trying to keep going north. Shoot, I did not pull up my thing. Set min misses the target. I don't know why this is so hard for me to remember. Eve, no insertion burn. Doing it now. Plot. Show me the thing. Okay. Wow. All right. So we're going to be burning a little bit north to try to move our ascending and descending nodes to be more correctly on the path. And they do this, like launch windows in real life have a little bit of a wiggle room because they can do this kind of dog leg trajectory. All right. I'm gonna actually point surface prograde and burn a little bit more to give myself slightly more room. Get up to 90 so that we have time to get into orbit. Okay. Warp there. Not target. Target is not what we want. We don't want to go to min miss. That's not the goal. Min miss is just a 0 degree target so that I can see my relative inclination. All right. Okay, come out of time warp, please. Okay. Oh, I see. All right, we're out of the atmosphere. I'm gonna start burning. Right on the horizon. And a little bit north to try to push the descending node. And I'm also gonna time accelerate a little bit just to get us through this. Whoop. All right, we're about to pass our apoapsis, so we want to burn up a little bit more and still a bit more north. A little bit on the 90-degree marker, because if we start to veer south as we launch because the curvature of the planet is pushing us that way. All right, we're really close, so now let's just go straight on our trajectory and just aim to get into orbit now. Any second, it's gonna flip. There we go. 90 by 96. Right-click deploy the fairing so I don't accidentally stage the spacecraft off. And now we play the very happy, fun game dealing with this maneuver. So, 1 hour, 27 minutes in. Set that as the target. Come down here. This one doesn't have to have such tight delta V margins. Add a maneuver for 1478. Move it until the ejection inclination is as little as I can make it reasonably. Do it earlier. All right, that's quite precise. Now, do we have a magical encounter? No, we don't. All right. Oh, there it is. This one is going around the other way. That's okay. How do we do this? I think we burn less. We burn earlier. We burn less. No. Oh, I had it and I messed it up. No. It was 1478. I'm just going to go back to what we had, 78. I'm going to fiddle with this timing. There we go. And now we started burning later, put us here. So it's an inclination problem. That's not going to work. 900 meters per second ain't going to do it. So here's the question. What would it be to fix the orbit later such that we intersect? Oh my goodness. What is that second maneuver? Whoa. Well, it's getting close, but what is the total here? It's a lot. What's our total delta V in our craft? 29. This thing has almost 3 kilometers per second left in it. Can I delete the second maneuver? There we go. All right. So if we were to do a maneuver in the future of a significant amount, that's a huge maneuver. I hate it, but that's something. Like, this thing does not have to orbit Eve. So we can do this horrible expensive correction burn. So the total trip ends up being 2,200 meters per second just to get a flyby of Eve, which is frustrating. But we can afford to do that, and that saves us time. And we're not trying to put this vessel in orbit. So it's possible. So we're going to do the maneuver that we have, I think. And it's been 4 minutes. Is there anything I could do? Okay, hang on. This one is at... It's 1478. Ejection inclination 0.99 degrees north. To change the timing would create significant problems. So this is the one we had. This one's slightly different. Come on. Don't be so touchy. Let's not. We knew we had one where we had it. So we're going to do this one. We'll do our best. F5. Add an alarm for the maneuver node. Get pointed the right way, and go. Now, we're not going to go very fast because we're in low orbit, but that's okay. So, now we're in 33 minutes in. I tend to like to wrap up streams, but once this thing gets sent off, well, we've got a little bit of juggling to do. How is our scan of Dres going? It's been a few days. It's getting done. Altimetry scan. Looking nice. All right, close maneuver. Once again, the timing is going to be all wrong. I'm going to start burning like 10 or 15 seconds early. Because we're switching engines, and it's not the new version of Kerbal where it accounts for that. All right, the Vesta orbital insertion stage is about to burn out. Now we're on the Terrier LV909. Rotate just for the sake of it. Deploy those long-range Communitron DTS M1s that enable us to go and actually attempt these interplanetary missions. And time accelerate a bit. Oh, we're pushing our maneuver marker a bit weirdly. Let me try to get on it. Whew. Oh, camera, can you just be in orbital so that I'm not getting nauseous while this is happening? All right, you can see our orbit showing up. Start to slow down a little so I can see what I'm doing. Close, 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 close. Okay. F5, it's not too good. Kerbin. Like, it's just what happens. Transfer window planner can... It's just what happens when you're on this inclined orbit and you're leaving and you haven't really figured out how to account for all the math. My goodness. All right. So let's point up. So I think I've launched 3 unmanned missions today, so I have to put 2 more. So I'm now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue dice, indicating I am long overdue for sending a Kerbal into space. Let's add an SOI alarm. We're just going to go out. And while we're here, let's see if Dres got finished. Getting close. Mapping the planets is also an interesting thing. Now, did we finish the moon already? Moon. Moon is looking done. It's having trouble loading. Yeah, moon looks done. Dres doesn't seem to have as much trouble loading for some reason. There we go. So let's add a maneuver so that we can focus on the vessel. All right, so here's a question. We're pretty far out. So add a maneuver at Apoapс, and let's see if we can fix this encounter at Apoapс any more cheaply, because it was going to be like 500 meters per second. Ooh, wrong way. Well, so far we're doing another 500 just here. Focus on Eve. It's not great, but at the same time, jeez. It's so sensitive. It's not great, but at the same time, I just want to take it so that we can be done with this process. Why did that happen? My goodness, why is it coming in and out? The game like can't consistently trust that it's gonna work. Come on. What just happened? Why is it doing this? Seriously. Like every other one is correct. Well, that's just wrong. Let me see. Is the periapse going down or up? I can't even tell. Gotta trust. Trust in it. Trust in it. It's gonna work. It's gonna be there. Trust. Trust. Because it's gotta get a close flyby. And I don't know where space close is, but I can look it up potentially. I can look it up, but I suspect that, because I have the config files, but I suspect that if we get within like, well, that's going to hit the atmosphere. We are doing atmosphere science. We don't want to do that. This should be enough, but by then we should know. Anyway, I can adjust this orbit more when we get to this. So let's add. This is a 470 meter per second burn. I hate it, but it is what we are working with. And in the meantime, hand wave, please enjoy being in space. I'm going to delete this Kerbal Eve thing because we have now sent the handwave probe, the evening probe, and the handwave 2 probe to Moho, Eve, and Eve, respectively. I'm not going to try to go to Gilly, because as much trouble we've been having getting an encounter with any of these places, Gilly is on this orbit. Look at Gilly's orbit. It's like a comet. It's totally wonky. I have no idea how to do it. I probably should have played stock Kerbal Space Program to remember how everything works before I dived in here and got totally lost. Okay. Now the pad's going to be ready in a day. It's been an hour and 41 minutes. I have to stop. I want to give us a little teaser of what's coming next. Because we miss our Kerbals. We have not gotten to see our Kerbals. So we're time warping to when the pad's ready. And we're going to the Space Center. And I'll go ahead and put the music, which I know has no copyright on. And I know because I haven't put one on it. And we're going to take a quick look inside the vehicle assembly building, because I have one more pre-built launch that I've been waiting to do for like 2 episodes. And it might be all laggy in here, but we are going to be launching next time on Kerbal Space Program, Uncharted Lands, something, something, something. We are launching the Kerlosiraptor Mark 1D Polar mission. Here it is, Kerbals going into space. Who would have thought? This will be the first time a Kerbal who is not a pilot will go into space. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. We're launching on an octo-core though, which is suboptimal. But you know what? I'd already built the thing. So that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, if you've joined, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience in this long and difficult episode. But we're going to be really happy to have that science when it all comes back to us. Yep, so let's have a nice look at the rings and the moon in the background. And we'll do some science unlocking soon too. I have to take a look at what that is, but hope everybody's taking care of themselves, staying safe. And yeah, best of luck. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.